I forgot I'd put that in. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday and it's the Guitar Stuff Studio live stream and podcast. And as usual, on a Wednesday, we have Jim.
What's up, everybody?
Who we got in the chat tonight? Jim, we got Super Heavy Metal Demon, we got Remy, we've got D-Mac, Dave J from Canada, Barry Ritchie, Simon, who's here illegally, Super Heavy Metal Demon, we got Judy, I've seen some others, S. Ferguson, Dear Prudence, hi Prudence. Yeah, what a crowd we've got here tonight, guys. It's so nice to see so many of you show up, and as always, shout out to Linny. Right, what are we doing tonight, Jim?
I have no idea. We haven't talked in like a week. I was actually talking to my wife about this earlier because she's like, "What do you got? What's the subject on your podcast tonight?" Or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh crap, I don't know. I have no idea."
You should have mentioned it to me. I was going to talk about the Fender Ultra 2s again.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing big, but I mean, if anybody in the chat wants us to talk about anything, just drop some ideas down. We'll just have a bit of a free for all, tonight. I took my pasty ass on a sunbed today, which is why I look like this. So yeah, I wanted a bit of vitamin D because I live in Scotland and we don't get that here.
Right.
Just vitamin lard or something. So yeah, I'm just trying to look.
Sound a lot better than you did last week.
Not difficult, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see Frank's ass over there. Frank.
So your vision has improved? What?
I got new glasses. That's something, I suppose. Right, just let me get caught up with all these comments here. Oh, Remy's in the chat. Remy is actually going to be the guest on Saturday, so that should be fun. We'll have some guitar stories. Really happy Simon could make it tonight because Simon was in the Discord earlier, saying that Turkey has just banned YouTube and Twitter.
Oh no! Yeah, didn't they get like attacked today? There's like hostages and stuff.
I don't think it was Elon. Or
Well, I hope not.
I don't know who runs YouTube anymore because Susan passed away, didn't she? Auntie Susan.
They're run by an AI system at this point.
What, YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting worse. Jojo Fry, she isn't in the chat yet. I'm sure Jojo will nip along better. She sent me a message today saying that...
She's always casually late, though, man. She likes to show up and, like, have everybody way better.
Do you reckon, like, if you were dating Jo, she'd be that chick that shows up, like, 25 minutes to the restaurant and shit?
Probably.
You have to get her a booster seat. She's tiny. And there's high chairs.
Oh, no!
Yeah, she sent me a message today talking about YouTube. Basically, what YouTube's doing now, and I don't know if there's any of the creators in the chat or anything, but what they're doing now is, you know how, like, if you're subscribed, so say you've been subscribed to me for like a year, it will stop showing you it'll stop suggesting my channel, and it only suggests your channel to subscribers that have joined your channel in the last 3 months, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they keep moving the they keep moving the goalposts. I think everyone in the chat's just dissing Jo now. It's probably best she's not here. Can't call Jo a hobbit. Yeah, Fender Ultra 2s. What were we talking about Fenders last week? Because, like, seriously, my brain is melted. What was? Oh, well, you'd seen Ula do the video and everything, and
yeah.
everyone was like singing their praises and everything. And
well, not just Ula, it was John Brown for Monuments as well. I mean, it's like across the board. I think they were like specially Fender. That is, that they were just like, you know what, we should, who's the top metal YouTubers these days? Because we need to reach a bigger audience. So they like strategically pushed it out. Hey, have a free guitar, So
of course, seriously, if anybody wants to give me free guitars,
yeah. I would
I
not
will.
turn down a free guitar from
If
Fender. Don't
anybody
get me
wants to send
wrong.
me and Jim free guitars,
Right?
we'll say the nicest stuff about them as well. I mean, like, this is
Yes,
the
we
best
will.
guitar I have ever played. But yeah, it's have you ever watched KDH, that Irish guy?
I don't think so.
Really, my guitar's buzzing. He's got really long hair and glasses, and he's very softly spoken.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah, well, KDH used to be a bit of an ass. He used
Also, that narrows it down.
he used to be real nasty pasty. Like he would always his videos were, for a while, they were very negative and stuff, and I stopped watching him. But he's kind of turned his channel around now, and he just does a lot of gear reviews, and he does a thing on a Sunday where he changes the strings on one of his guitars and just has a chat to you and everything. It's quite a cool little channel. If there's any mods, Simon, you're a mod now. I just made you one. If you can find a link to KDH's channel, it's a really good channel. But he was talking about Fender's advertising, for the Fender Ultra 2. And fretful badasses in the chat. Hey Raylene, how's it going? And he was saying that and he was comparing the Fender Ultra 2 to the Fender Ultra, like doing side by, and there's basically no difference between them. I mean, like, the colours are a bit different. They've got new vintage colours. Can you explain new vintage to me?
Yeah, I don't understand how that works, but like they did, like the things that they added, which I think is like it would take a very happy Ula on a good day to go, oh look, they put this little rubber thing around the volume knob, so if you're sweaty live, it's easy to turn the knob. It won't slide around or anything like that. That was the problem, And then the very next one that he did that had like the metal tone and volume knobs on, I guess, were too sharp. So he's like, when he was strumming down, like playing a riff, he hit his knuckle on it. He's like, oh, I'm going to end up cutting myself on this thing. I'm like, uh-oh, there goes his Fender status.
Look, I mean, I know you're not a Strat guy, Jim. I know you've got no beef with Strats. They're just
Love
not
tracks.
your. Yeah. I know. Look, I know you don't own one presently, is what I'm saying. Now, I mean, I've owned CBS Strats before. I loved that thing. I wish I'd never sold it. The ones with the giant headstock.
Yeah.
Like what Ingwe has. I borrowed it. It wasn't mine. I borrowed a 60s Strat for a little while when I was in a band, and I loved that thing. And my main guitar that I use for recording and everything is that butterscotch Strat that I use quite a lot. I've played. I had like the heavy metal Strat. I've had the tie-dye Strat, with the HSS in it and everything, and I mean, there's not really any difference between any of them. It's still a Strat. I mean, I can't say that spending like $2,500 on a guitar would make it that much. I know it's a great guitar and everything. They look fancy, but I can't see how there's like £2,000 more guitar there than what I've got. You know what I mean?
I hear you, and it's weird to me that the things that are different in those higher end versions, the differences are so subtle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like you pick it up and you're like, wow, night and day. It's just like the fret job is done a little bit better. There's no sharp edges, and the neck feels a little nicer. The setup was done a little nicer because someone paid them to do a good job. And obviously the electronics and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. I think it just depends on the player too. Like you pick up like my Pacifica, if I gave that to, like a pro player, he's going to be like, yeah, this doesn't feel like, what I would play on live, but he's going to shred the crap out of that thing. No problem. and he's going to
Yeah.
make it good in the process. Now, you do the same thing with a newbie, you know, someone who's only been playing for like a year. You give him that guitar, like, okay, I can play on it. But then you give him like an Ibanez Gem, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier to play on. And then they actually might improve a little bit. You know, not much, but a little bit. So they're, you know, potato, tomato.
Yeah. Well, Pickles doing a whole thing.
I can hear it.
He's doing laps. I don't know what's wrong with him tonight. I think he's going to throw up in a minute. I might have to disappear for a second. He gets a bad tummy now and again. He had too much dinner or something. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's the same with any guitars, though, because I mean, you've just got the Pacifica, and you know, it's for what you paid for, it's a brilliant guitar. But it's the same with Strats. You can get good Strats, and you can get bad Strats. You know, the next one off the production line might suck. And I mean, I've had that before, where I went into a music shop one day, actually in Exeter. Joe filmed a video there. And I went with the money in my pocket to go and buy a Telecaster. I couldn't find one that I liked.
Yeah.
Well, all their Telecasters sucked that day, and I like a Tele. I mean, not as much as I used to.
I've always secretly wanted a Tele. I don't talk about it a lot, but I do want one.
I think. I don't know. You see, I could start a fight here. I mean, they're a bit niche, I find.
Yeah. No, they are. For sure.
Right, Jim, just keep shit going for us. I will be back in 1 minute.
All right. So, what does the chat think about Telecasters? And do any of you have a Telecaster? Simon says, my favorite Strats are Telecasters. That's great. I like that. I like that. How could you not be a Tele? Curious. I've never played on one that I was like, oh, I have to have this. But of course, I've only played on like 2 of them, and they weren't like American made. You know, they were made on the outside of the U.S. But I would love to, you know, if I could find a music shop that had American made Teles, I'm sure I'd pick one out that I really like. Whether I can afford one or not, that's a different question. But okay, here we go. Telecasters are for real guitar players, so I don't play them. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Prefer Strats. All right, fair enough.
How you getting on, Jim? Is he been all right, chat?
I'm just reading their comments and responding.
That's what I do when I panic. I go back through and Ben, I heard they're the most versatile sound-wise. They are very versatile sound-wise. Like, I mean, if you look, like Jim Root in Slipknot uses a Jim Root in Slipknot uses a Telecaster, and then, you know, you've got some good old boy in a country band playing a Telecaster. I mean, it is John Five's a Tele guy, isn't he?
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, back in, like, oh my gosh, when was that? Like 2000, I want to say 2013, 2014, when I first heard about Viljetta. There was a guy, and you got to remember, Viljetta uses 7-string baritone like guitars, and they tune way down. I don't remember what they tune to, but it's way down there. Some dude on a 6-string Tele tuned down to whatever they're tuned to, and made like a cover video of one of their songs, and it sounded awesome. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh my God, I can't imagine like the thickness of those strings that he had to put on there, and like how many takes it took to get that right without something like going into, you know, the wrong vibration and becoming a dissonant note. So yeah, absolutely incredible guitars.
Are you about Simon's dissing middle pickups?
Yeah, I don't like him either.
I'm a real middle pickup guy. I don't know, not so much on my other guitars, but on my Strat, yes, because I've got the Fender noiseless pickups and the Gilmore switch, so you can actually utilize the middle pickup. So maybe I'm just spoiled. I think I saw a Fretful Badass in the chat there, trying to start shit.
Oh,
Taylor,
yeah.
I think Jennifer Batten might disagree, or Lita. No, what's her called that plays for Alice Cooper now?
Oh, yeah, Ula's biggest fan. What is her name? Nita Strauss.
Nita Strauss. I was thinking of Lita Ford, but it's definitely not Lita Ford. Yeah, Nita Strauss. She's
She
amazing.
doesn't need to play for anyone.
Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do. I don't know. Chat, let me know if you'd be interested in this, but I might actually do a stream talking about female guitarists, because a little while ago, Joe said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a video about the. There's no decent female guitarists on YouTube,"
What?
and I was like, "What?"
Dude, there's a freaking mountain of awesome
I
female
said,
guitar
"Are you
players."
kidding me?" And I sent her. I was out shopping when she sent me the message, so I got home and I sent her a list of like some of the female creators that I watch. And I'm like, "Come on, man! I mean, some of yeah, I'm going to do a stream about the female guitarists and see if we can showcase a few of them on the stream, because I genuinely do feel like they don't get enough love."
Right, yeah. We could do a whole stream about that and have a couple of female guitar players in the stream with us.
Ooh, well, we could probably get Joe. She's kind
Ew!
of.
You're like, ew, no, let's not do that.
Should we do that next week?
Are you talking to me?
I'm not talking to anybody else, am I?
What about... Of course I'm going to be here next week, man.
No, should we do the stream on the female guitarist next week, next Wednesday?
Yeah, sure. Hey, at least we have something to do our homework on. Yeah, that'd be great.
It's going to be better planned than this shower of shit tonight.
Right?
I'm just loving all the suggestions that everybody's chucking in the chat there. I don't even know how to say her name. Oren Anthony. Nikki Stringfield from Iron Maidens. I mean, there is just some amazing. There's I think she's Brazilian guitarist called Julia that I follow, and she's just like this lovely innocent little girl in a pretty dress with glasses, but she fucking shreds. I'm like,
Well, it was funny you mentioned Jennifer Batten earlier. Like, she was one of my heroes back in the late '80s. I mean, like,
yeah, back in the '80s, she was.
I mean, she was teaching at GIT at a very young age, and that was like the be-all, end-all for me. I was a huge subscriber to Guitar for the Practicing Musician back in those days because there was no internet and I'm old. So anytime that she had like a lesson or, anything that she put in, you remember like in the middle of the magazine, there's always that like, oh, so-and-so put this in there and like something you can practice on. Like hers were my favorite. Like it was just like these tongue twisters on the neck. You're like, wow. So yeah, no, Jennifer, she's a
yeah, I don't know. Whenever I think of female guitar, I think again it must be like an age thing as well, because like, when I was like 16, 17, 18, like Jennifer Batten was the shit. I think she was playing for Michael Jackson back then as well.
Yeah. At like I said, like a very young age, and she came out of GIT a monster. It's like, okay, now she gets to teach. She gets to play for all these like famous musicians. She's a studio musician and she's doing her own stuff. Like no sleep for the wicked kind of thing. She was just all over the place.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Jennifer back because like I say, I mean, there's so many great female guitarists out there. And Sophie Burrell, thank you, Ben. That was the girl I was thinking of. She's amazing. And there's also a really young girl. She's not quite so young now, but when she started, and she had like really long blonde straight hair. She was about 12, and she sat there doing Eruption. I can't remember. I'll dig it out. Nancy Wilson is awesome. Barry, thank you, Nancy Wilson.
Yeah,
Nancy's actually slowed down a bit now, but I mean, she's allowed. Let's be fair. But back in the day, Nancy was a beast. Yeah, I just don't think that female guitarists get the I don't know. Am I wrong? I mean, personally, I think they don't get taken as seriously as a lot of the dudes. But
I don't know. I think it's just when you look at like the dynamic of like not just live, but like recording stuff too. Like they, it's mostly teenage girls who support the music industry. They're the ones purchasing all the music. They're the ones
Yeah, of
buying
course.
all the concert tickets. So they're like, well, I want to see a hot half naked guy playing a guitar on stage. They're not going to see a woman play. But it's
Yeah.
weird because, like, if I'm in the crowd and I see some hot girl shredding on a guitar, I'm like, I'm glad I paid for this ticket. Much better than
Simon,
a half-naked dude playing a guitar right now.
absolutely. Yeah, Grace Bowers is the SG girl. Simon, I think that's who you're thinking of. Just a minute, Frank. No. Down. Dogs have been buttholes today. It's because the Amazon man came just before the stream started. Fucking it.
No.
What time is this to bring a parcel? It's 9 o'clock at night. It should have been here at 3. Seriously. Fuck Amazon. Right. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that next week. Right. I think I've asked you this before, Jim. I can't remember what you said. Have you ever heard of plecking a guitar?
I don't think so.
All right. Chat. I will put how they spell it in the chat.
Yeah, that might help.
Right. So it's called plecking a guitar, and the first time I heard of it was a few years ago. Do you remember when Gibson brought the Les Paul tribute out? It's kind of it was kind of a cool. It was midway between a high-end Epiphone and an entry-level Les Paul. And one of the things, I mean, two of the things that really attracted me to that guitar, because as you know, I'm not a Les Paul guy, but I was like, oh, I mean, it was like, cheaper. It was about £1,000, but you got a free hard case with it, and it came plecked, and I was like, what the hell is pleck? Steve Cassidy.
It's a verb.
Yeah, it's plecked, to pleck the guitar. So basically, what it is, it's like a machine, and you put the guitar in it, and it lays, it scans it all with lasers and everything, and then it goes in and like bends the neck and sets the truss rod up and files the frets down, and basically your guitar is perfect. I mean, like next level, like a human can't do this, perfectly intonated, and the frets are all just.
Japanese would disagree highly on that, but okay.
Well, I'm talking about Gareth, who works at fucking Guitar Center, right?
Fucking Gareth. I mean, pardon my French.
Yeah. So yeah, the Plek, the Plek. Seriously, there's a few videos on it. Andertons, I think, have got one.
Yeah, I don't know. It does sound familiar, but I just I think if I had actually seen this, I might have just thrown up a little bit. So
I don't know. Let me see if I can find. Probably gonna get a copyright claim for this. I don't care.
Apparently, every Gibson is now plecked. I mean, it's probably why the headstocks are all snapping off. But whatever.
I think they were doing that before the.
They totally were.
Here we go. Here's the Andertons. Here's the Andertons video. Right, let me see if I can.
Oh.
Here we go. Right, add to scene. Oh, I'm getting.
Oh.
Ooh, idiot! Sake. Right, I'm just gonna. Sorry, I just got a Unison Audio advert.
Oh no!
The video that I did the other night. They are. Seriously, they are not. Right, let me. Right, okay, let's bring. Oh no! I just got rid of it. Damn! Just seriously.
Well,
the hell, man. Right, here we go. Unison Audio. Seriously, you'll see it. They're doxing me. Look,
Uh-oh.
right? I don't think there's going to be any sound on it, but it's just to give you an idea of what it looks like and what the machine is. Can you see that all right, Jim? Yeah?
Yeah. No, I got it. How it works. It doesn't. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, a few problems involved in all of this is like the machine doesn't have eyes, so and it doesn't understand what an imperfection is in any of the materials that it's scanning. So yeah, I mean, I guess if like everything's checked out beforehand and then put into the machine, it's like okay, we did the best we could, and the machine will take care of the rest. Then maybe that could be helpful for sure. But I still prefer the prestige method in Japan, where they have like some crazy wizard sitting on top of a mountain, like not good enough. Bring me the best wood. And, they everything's handmade after that process to the very, very point where they're like, all right, it's in its case and we're sending it out. Like there's just something about that is just like,
I'm not gonna lie, Jim. You're coming across as a bit pretentious now, bro.
Probably. Hey, when it comes to my Ibby prestiges, I'm gonna sound like that. I can't help it.
Dear Prudence just checked info. She checked her info. Martin plecked her guitar. Is it? I mean, a Martin's going to come well set up anyway, innit?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say does it make a difference, because I mean, any Martin I've played has been like, this is amazing, even though I don't own an acoustic. We're not going to go over that ground again tonight. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool that, because a lot of guitar shops are just getting these machines now, and, that's part of the service is, setting your guitar up to that level. Sure. I don't know, I think it's cool. Just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it can do well for things that would otherwise be subpar, but, there's still that, higher echelon where you don't need that machine. But, you do have to be Japanese. So, not trying to be racist.
I don't think you can be racist towards the Japanese. I think I was talking to somebody about this today. I was like saying like...
You can't say anything negative about them. They're just too good.
I mean, it's like those dudes that like make knives and like they'll train for like 50 years before they're allowed to make their first knife on their own and stuff like that. And
if you ever see how seriously the Japanese take their, cooking rice and, all that whole process, dude, oh my gosh. I watched a whole documentary on that. It's like just with rice, like, so yeah, you can imagine like we're selling these guitars to the rest of the world. If there's a single problem with any of these things that go out, someone's committing seppuku. I mean, like these guys take their jobs very, very seriously.
Yeah, no, I mean, enough respect to them, and that's you know what, I see it a lot in guitar forums and stuff on the Bookface and places like. I should stay off Facebook. I fucking hate it. It just makes me angry. And these people are like, yeah, this guitar was made in America, so it's better than the Japanese guitar. I'm like, is it? What's your reasoning there, bruh? Steve Cassidy, the actual Plek company is genius too. He used to be able to buy the machines, but they changed the business model to subscription rental. Smart, yeah. Yeah, because Gareth would probably try and fix it himself.
Why do I get the feeling I'm getting a shirt for Christmas?
Like machines on the Blink, Gareth. Let me get my hammer. Yeah, no, I tell you what, the last Japanese guitar I got actually was that Hybrid 2 Telly. Do you remember that blue one I had?
Yeah, yeah.
Did I tell you why I got rid of that?
No.
Oh, that's a cool guitar story. Well, it's not. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, the guitar, right, was amazing. It was so nice to sit and hold and play, and yeah, I could shred on that thing. It was great, and for me, it was a little bit better than a normal telly because they'd like scooped a bit out the back, like a Strat, and because I'm a fat bastard, it sat a lot more comfortably on me. Anyway, I was playing in that Status Quo tribute band, and I was taking it to rehearsals, and it was there's just something about it just didn't sound right. And then the following week, I was like, I'll just take my Strat, my number one Strat, and the difference was straight away. As soon as I plugged it in, I was like, this sounds so much better. So yeah, I just thought if I can't use a guitar, this is my thing I'm doing now. If I can't use a guitar, I won't keep it. I went to my storage unit today and nearly cried. I mean, I think I counted 40 boxes in there. And I don't know, some of those boxes have 2 guitars in, so, I mean, some might be empty. It's not good. What was the name of the tribute band? God, I can't remember now. It was a Status Quo pun about Scotland. I can't remember what it was now. I think they were called Glasgow. I think that's what they were called. I don't know why I'm clicking on that. Remy's just asked a good question there. Oh no, who has anybody? Have you played a Wolfgang, Jim?
Yeah, we've actually had this conversation before. It was, oh my gosh, it was way before I got married, so well over 20 years ago. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't a Wolfgang. That was
that would have been Ernie Ball, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was just an Ernie Ball. Yeah, so no, I guess I haven't.
Yeah, because I mean, because Wolfgang, he used to play the Music Man guitars, I'm pretty sure, and then he kind of. But I think the Wolfgang is based a lot on the Ernie Ball Music Man guitars.
Yeah.
Or am I just imagining that? Has anybody in the chat tried one of the new Wolfgang Van Halen guitar? I mean, they look good. I mean, if he's playing it, I mean, it's not going to be shit, is it? Peavey took over after the EB. Ooh, I've seen a lot of bad stuff about Peavey recently. Apparently, prisoners make Peavey stuff now. Is that true?
I don't know. I have no idea. Barry Ritchie, was your Yamaha Pacifica made in Japan, Jim? No, it was made in Indonesia, which is, but...
I'm sorry, but there's nothing wrong with Indonesian guitars.
Oh, Ula has his guitars made there. It's not about place, really. It's about quality of material that you're using and what
it was like. This one's from Indonesia, but it's not. It's
putting it together, to be honest.
This one's Japanese.
Yep.
Yeah, that's been getting a lot of love today. The Marshall got fired up today.
Nice.
Simon's coming out with some anti-American rhetoric there. I think it's because he's in Turkey and he's just trying to stay on the good side of the government. Prisoners make most of the US's white goods.
I would not be surprised in the slightest. I've heard so many horror stories about like human trafficking in the United States that to the point where like every single person working in the tobacco fields, they're all just human slaves.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Peavey they were making guitars in prisons, but they were definitely making the amps in prisons, or the carcasses for them or something. Jesus Christ! I know some guys that have been in prison in England, and they wouldn't be able to make a guitar.
Well, it isn't Jesus.
Or a fridge.
Keep his name out of your mouth, man. Come on now.
Ben's got a question. Andy, Ari, that Les Paul looking guitar I have. What do you want to know about that guitar? Because I love that guitar, and I could talk about that guitar for a week without stopping. I'd get a sore throat, but I wouldn't care because I love that guitar more than life itself. That is a Hagstrom Super Swede. from the 90s actually, and was actually made in Sweden. Yeah, it's Swedish. It is. I had never played one. The only thing I really knew about Hagstrom at the time was that Benny out of, was it Björn? I think Benny's the guitar player in ABBA. Yeah, he's the guitar player out of ABBA used them. I thought, well, they can't be that bad. Yeah, I do remember.
Depending on what model you're getting and stuff, they're sought after and very expensive these days.
Right. Well, what it was this kid on Marketplace was selling it, and it was ridiculously cheap. And I looked it up, and I was like, I mean, I might just get this and flip it. That was my original intention. So I went round, and he said, "Oh, do you want to try it?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he had like a Fender Bassman amp as well. I was like, I just want to plug into that anyway. And wow, as soon as I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And he wanted the money to put towards a Telecaster. I'm like, mate, you're retarded. This is just. I like ran out of it, like I ran out of his house like I'd stole it. Simon says, "Do I remember Remploy?" Yes, I do. The camo cream that they used to make for soldiers used to give me really bad spots and hurt my eyes. Because I'm a sensitive soul. Basically, Remploy, for those of you who don't know, it was set up after the Second World War in the UK. For all the soldiers that have been injured during the war and like they had limbs missing and stuff. But it basically just ended up where they just take anybody on. They, like midgets and people with brain damage and stuff. It was a really bad company.
Yeah, brain damaged midgets running around.
There's a lot more of them in the UK than you'd actually think. But yeah, if
sounds like my kind of party.
Yeah, anybody in the chat, if you ever get a chance to try a Hagstrom guitar, if somebody close by to you wants, selling one, or you see one in a music shop, just ask if you can try it out, because they are like, I don't like Les Pauls. I don't like the. I've said it a million times. I don't like the fretboards. For me, they're just like a solid chunk of wood. I mean, I can shred on that Hagstrom. I mean, when I gave Joe her shredding lesson, I was using that Hagstrom. I mean, it's such a fast neck. It weighs about the same as a small Moon. That would be the only drawback with it. But I'm a giant, so it doesn't really bother me too much. What's the price point? That's the thing. That the Swedish ones go for probably, I don't know, an Indonesian one, you'll probably look at, I think it's Indonesia where they make them, you're probably looking between £400 and £500. For a Swedish one, between 800 and 1,000. And for some of the vintage ones, big money. Brand new, the Hagstrom Phantoms are epic. The band Ghost used them. They actually had
they're custom made ones for certain artists too, like Ghost and Metallica and whatever. And they're paying. I'm sure they're not paying as much as what we would pay for it, but we're talking like anywhere between $3,000 to $8,000.
Well, I'm a huge Ghost fan, as I've said before. And Tobias Forge, the guy with all the makeup and everything, he's Swedish as well.
Tobias.
Lexi's in the chat. Sorry, I just brought Lexi up. Hi, Lexi. How you doing? Lexi was teaching Joe to sing on Saturday.
Oh, she must be in the X chat or something. I don't see her.
Oh. Didn't you see when I put it up on screen, though?
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, she is on X. There's a big X there. I didn't even notice that. They are an epic guitar, and like I say, if there's ever one for sale near you, or you see one in a guitar shop, just pick it up and try it, because I think you'll be really surprised. My mind was blown, and I am just keeping my eye out for the next one that crops up, because
back to Fender real quick. I just saw today that they're launching a new line of 7-strings. I didn't even know they had 7 strings before this 7-string. Also, I don't know how I would feel picking up a 7-string with those necks.
I'm sorry, but I think you'll agree with me here, Jim. Anybody else apart from Ibanez should just not even try. Ibanez cracked the 7-string for me. They are next level. I mean, I've tried a Jackson 7-string, and it was.
Well, I will say this: Schecter had, because I've had 3 Schecter 7-strings. The first one was okay at best. The second one was actually pretty good. That was the one my brother gave me for a very undeserved birthday present. And then the third one that I got was the Banshee, which was amazing with the Lundgrens in it, and the Evertune and everything. Loved that guitar. Didn't really want to get rid of it, but at the time, bills had to be paid, so I sold it. But it's an amazing guitar, and I would recommend that just as much as I would recommend an Ibanez Prestige 7. So, yeah.
See, that's the thing with Schecters. They're not... I mean, you can get them here, but you don't see them very often. Same with BC Riches as well. Remy's there. He's got...
BC Rich. That was my first guitar, but dude, they are so expensive.
They've, I think, I don't know. I know they've been through some changes and stuff and all the rest of it recently, but I mean, like the OG BC Riches from the 80s and 90s, they're like gold dust now. I mean, they are kind of like, the consummate metal guitar, aren't they? I think Dimebag did more for that brand than anybody. But yeah, Washburn as well, though. I mean, I've never tried a Washburn 7-string. I'm just saying, out of all the 7-strings I've tried, Ibanez has been the daddy.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that.
That is that's just me.
That is like after getting that Pacifica, I was like, okay, that back to the main focus. Like I want to get another 7-string. It's not that I need it. It's just I would really like to replay it. I have a lot of songs that I've written with a 7-string, so I want to replenish the system again. But this time, I think I'm going to go with an Ibanez Prestige. I just don't know which one yet and how I'm going to get the money to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still keeping my eye. I'm still looking for a Pacifica, but like I said, the ones that are popping up, people just want stupid money for them, and I'm not prepared, to pay that kind of cash for a guitar that, I'm not. That I'm just getting to make a video with you. Any Charvel fans? I'm a Charvel fan. I love a Charvel. The Jakey Lee one in particular.
Well, you remember my friend Ron, who we had on the show, back in the day before his apartment exploded, he had a red offset V Charvel that was just like, back in those days, we were just kids. We didn't know much about fancy guitars or like, what was good, what was bad or whatever. But that thing was amazing. It played awesome. It looked so cool. That Ferrari red, like, oh, wow, how cool of a guitar is that? And for that thing to like be lost in the fire, first of all, that was terrible enough, like, oh man, he lost his guitar, that sucks. But they didn't remake it. So like that's just gone now. Like a piece of history is gone. And I'm sure Ron's like, man, I used to have that thing and I'll never get it back. That sucks. But yeah, I remember I'd never heard of Charvel before, and picking that guitar up and playing on it, I was just like, dang, it had that professional quality back in those days that I just wasn't accustomed to. Great guitar.
I mean, am I wrong in saying here, and I might be, because I have been known to be incorrect about stuff in the past, but didn't Charvel and Jackson once, like,
yeah,
they both come from the same place? They did, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like ESP and Schecter, the same roof, different build,
And
rooms.
didn't Kiesels come from Charvel's?
No idea.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure Kiesel came from Charvel. I mean, I would never buy a Kiesel just because of the dude that owns them. And I don't like headless guitars, but I do like the ones with the big numbers on the fretboard. So
I
you know,
had a dream. I don't know if it was last night or the night before, but I had a dream that I owned a headless guitar. I'm like, crap, I can't post pictures of it on X because Andy will get pissed. So, like I just kept it a secret.
Steve Cassidy's put me right. It was Carvin, which looks a little bit like
Yeah, that's
Charvel.
right. Oh, I missed Carvin. Dude, Carvin was awesome.
No, in the 80s, like, I mean, I was like a huge hair metal guy in the 80s, and like, there was Hamer, Kramer, Carvin, Jacksons, the BC, they were all the pointy, big hairspray guitars, and I mean, to have any of those guitars back when I was a kid was, it was just considered a win. Kids don't know how good they've got it these days.
No, they don't. They really don't.
They really don't. I'll probably have to do a rant about that now. I'm on a ranting tip with my videos at the minute.
2 weeks from now, like kids these days, like it's like numbers going down.
It's just gonna end up with a video of me standing outside on my lawn shouting at the sun for being too hot. That's where I'm headed. I like a Washburn. I love a Washburn.
Yeah, me too.
Oh God. I mean, that's on my list of guitars to get, an N3 and an N4, because, I mean, just by numbers alone, they should be better than the N2, and I can't imagine a guitar being better than the N2.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about like Ibanez guitars. You get one, you're like, wow, this is amazing. You get a higher version of it. Oh wow, that's amazing. Then you play a Prestige, you're like, what? How is this even possible? It doesn't feel real.
I didn't pick up a Prestige because I've gone from a Gem to an S-Type, and I'm like, can't get any better than this with the S-Type. And I know how you feel about the Prestige, which is why I'm worried, because I just don't have Prestige money lying around at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty sure
because
if I sold some of the guitars that I don't use, I could probably afford a Prestige.
that's what
Uh,
I sold a bunch of them, and I'm like, finally, I can get a Prestige. But that was a mistake because now I want another Prestige. So, and I've run out of things to sell. So
the problem is as
nobody
well, though,
wants
at the
to
minute,
buy this 50-year-old disgusting Swedish broken body.
Jim the Rent Boy.
Right. Hey, everybody.
Ew.
Oh,
Ooh.
hey, you go away. Here's $1. Like, oh, take it.
Well, Simon, what do you mean by what you're feeling on the Prestige? I mean, Jim absolutely. I mean, for me, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. The S series is kind of like pretty much just a step or two down from the Prestige, isn't it?
No, the S series is just the shape of the body, just like you would say,
Yeah, but I mean, in quality wise, like the Prestige is there, and the S is probably like there.
Well, it's Prestige, and then there's Premium, and then there's pretty much everything else that's swimming at the bottom. And when I say bottom, I don't mean that any of those guitars are bad.
You can't diss an RG series. I think the S is close to the Prestige because it's got the wizard neck with the.
Well, a lot of the RG series have the Wizard and Wizard 2 necks. It's not really about quality when it comes to S series RTAs or whatever those are. The thing is that it's about the quality of the craftsmanship and like how they assemble everything. That's F series. It's super thin. I used to have one.
Right, Simon's got some Prestige questions there, so can you take them, Jim?
Sure. What do we got?
He wants to know about the Prestige, frets, neck, weight, all the rest of it.
Okay, the fret job on the Prestige is next level. I mean, there isn't a single snag on anything. It's so smooth, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can tell that they spent a lot of time going over that to make sure that they're, moving up and down. You don't even feel that they're there. The neck, absolute. Most of the necks on all the Ibanez guitars actually are really, really good.
They
But
are.
the Prestige, obviously, they're going to go next level and make sure that they use the finest of the woods. There's not going to be any contortions. It shows up to your house set up perfectly, regardless of. And I don't even know. That's some kind of witchcraft, right? It's like it's
Maybe
been
they
sitting
plecked
there
it.
in a freaking like it's been in a warehouse for 3.5 years, but you just bought it, and it's still somehow fine. Japanese magic. I don't know how that works. The weight, that depends on which guitar you're getting. The RG that I have is, oh gosh, I don't know. I'd have to pick it up and try. I'd guesstimate somewhere between 8 and 10 pounds. I mean, it's basswood, so it's not really heavy. The first BC Rich I had, I don't know what wood that was, metal. It was like it was close to like 17 pounds. That guitar was so heavy. It hurt my neck when I was playing at band practice. But this one, very light. It's nice.
Yeah, that S series that I've got weighs nothing. The only guitar I've got that's lighter than that is the N2, which is basically made of cardboard.
Oh,
But,
hey,
I
before
mean,
I forget, our boy Guitar Max. I don't know if you ever subscribe to him on YouTube or not, but he actually has his own signature model from Harley Benton, and it's less. I think it's like $450, and it just got put back in stock. I
what's
might
it called?
actually
Guitar Max.
Yeah, yeah. And I've never played on a Harley Benton, but like everything that you've
Ooh.
touched from them, you give high praises. So
That is sexy AF.
yeah, right.
Shall I show this to the chat?
Yeah,
Is that green one, yeah?
yeah. I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah,
That is
right.
a blurry guitar. Oh, there we go.
It's a
Oh,
blurry.
it's got the reverse headstock on it and everything as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about buying this thing, man.
Stupidly nice.
Yeah.
Would it? That is
Tesla pickups. Have you ever tried Tesla pickups? It's been a long time.
I haven't.
Ron brought over a guitar ages ago with some Tesla pickups in it, and dude, really cool.
Right, let me. How do I stop this? I can't even find my cursor. There we go. Right,
it's too
I'll
late.
be back
You
in
must
1
order
second.
the guitar to close the window.
Back in 1 second, Jim.
All right, just playing him. Yeah, I love my Ibanez. Favorite guitar ever. Yeah, I get it, dude. After getting my first Ibanez Prestige, I'm sold. That's all I'll probably be getting from now on, other than maybe that Harley Benton. What is a string retainer on the headstock? I don't know. Why not? Andy, just play, man. Okay. Yeah. Andy, play.
What?
What?
What? Andy, just play, man. Why has it got a string retainer on the headstock? It's for tuning stability.
Yeah, probably.
100%. I've got them on a.
Yeah, I got it on my Pacifica too. Like
Yeah,
I
I've
get
got
it.
it on my Gem. It's on my S type. Yeah, I've got them on a few guitars actually. Yeah, it's just It's like an
And
old
I don't
K.
like you can take it off. It's not like it's permanent or something, you know.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind having holes. No, it does help with
We've all
the.
got holes, sir.
Speak for yourself. I'm like the Queen. I don't poop. Oh, the Queen's dead. Sorry.
What? So
God.
your nose has no holes. I mean, you gotta breathe.
Oh, we're talking about those kind of holes, orifices.
Yes, holes.
Orifices. No, seriously. I mean, that does look like a fancy N2. I don't know. There's something about the N2 I like. Just because it's so basic and stripped back, and there's nothing to it. And is hermetically sealed. Yes, pretty much.
Nice.
I mean, I have never been a like one of these guys that's like, oh, I'm not going to play that guitar. It's it weighs too much, because I mean I'm large. I've been a bassist. It shouldn't really matter. I mean, it's like that Hagstrom. It's like it's made out of uranium. I mean, it's that heavy.
Yeah, no, I get you. I've played and actually love heavy guitars when it comes to recording. Like there's something about the sustain and tone and everything that I love. But yeah, you're right. Like if you're standing on the stage for more than an hour, you don't want that guitar.
I mean, Nuno doesn't look like a very big dude either. I mean, Nuno looks like a strong gust of wind would blow him away.
Right.
But yeah, I need to get my hands on an N4. It's one of those things you rarely see Washburns come up over here, and that is why somebody's just made a Hogwarts joke. Andy is so big he lived in a cabin outside Hogwarts. Oh, we now know Remy's a bigot. He's a bigot and a transphobe.
Well, like I get what he's saying, but I can't remember his name.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, the big dude with the hair and the beard.
I only know Harry Potter. Do you know my problem with Harry Potter, right? Is it was just so far-fetched, I couldn't believe it.
Hagrid. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, I could accept the fact, that they went to a school and there was magic and there was a magic train and everything and all the rest of it. But I just couldn't accept the fact that there was a ginger child with 2 friends. Right. That's far-fetched, isn't it?
I had to collect myself there for a second. Oh, Simon, damn it.
Why is Simon hating on Harry Potter?
No, he's not. He
is. He said it's shit.
Oh, the trouble with Harry Potter is that it's well.
But if that's not hating on it, what is? What is your what?
No, I hadn't read that. But
what do you call hating if that isn't hating?
Yeah. Oh, that's hating. It's cool.
I didn't like the movies, but I liked the Hogwarts Legacy game. That was pretty rad. There was no gingers in that.
Don't let my wife and daughter hear that.
They don't have souls, Jim. They don't have souls. South Park did a whole thing about it, man. I'm gonna get cancelled like Ryan.
Oh man.
I'm gonna. But it's not based on a true story. He's gonna unwatch them. Well, damn right. I actually read all the Harry Potter books last year. Because I knew Hogwarts Legacy was coming out, so I thought I really want to play this game because it looked rad. I wanted to go on a broomstick, so I read all the Harry Potter books, and I've got to say it wasn't really my thing.
But you read all of them, like after the first one, you're like, this isn't really my thing. So you just kept reading, or I mean, what happened?
Can you see how many books I have behind me? I go through a book at night.
So off track? We got to get back to guitars, man. This isn't Hogwarts Guitar Museum.
Just reading Simon's comments. Simon, I'm glad Turkey didn't cancel you, man. I was really worried.
He's killing me.
I was even gonna stream on Twitch tonight just so Simon could watch it. But every time I've tried streaming on Twitch, like, number one, nobody watches it because I'm not a girl in a hot tub, and nobody wants to see that. And number two, nobody watched it. So and it was that was it. It was making it all glitchy and everything. So yeah, I don't know. But saying that, I've got no internet, so maybe I should get a hot tub.
Get a hot tub and shave your nipples.
I'm not hairy.
Oh well, there's a plus for you.
gets demonetized after 5 minutes.
Right? Yeah. We started off strong, man. You know,
We started off strong. Yeah, we've hit the hour mark now, and it's bound to go downhill. Remy's just putting something out there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the channel.
Thank you, Remy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if everybody can, make sure that you leave a like and stuff and all the rest of it, because I don't monetize these streams when they're live because I don't want them to get interrupted by ads and all the rest of it. I think it costs me about £100 a month to do these streams, so I'm not making any money on them. So any likes, shares, super chat, anything like that is gratefully accepted.
Yeah. Thank you, chat. Love you guys.
We do love you guys. Talking about women guitarists in hot tub. I don't think playing an electrical instrument in a hot tub's a really smart idea.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. That's gonna ruin everything.
Oh shit! I knocked my toaster over. Don't take baths with toasters, guys. It never ends well.
Everyone's gonna get an '80s hairdo after that.
This my faux hawk. I'm actually not wearing a hat tonight for the first time in a long time. That doesn't happen very often.
I'm just happy to hear you sounding well again, man. I was worried about you.
That was like a good 2 weeks. I was pretty. I did not feel good, man. Well, that's the COVID for you. That wasn't the Japanese. That was the Chinese. Oh yeah, Simon just mentioned the Discord to Remy there. If anybody wants to come and be on the Discord server, it's nothing serious. It's basically just people that are friends with me, Jim Dempsey, Cass. She's probably having a nap. But there's a few people
ever on Discord. Just FYI, but I am on there. I might only check in like once a month, but I am there.
I do. Simon's on Discord quite. I think I made Simon a mod of that the other day, actually. So yeah, it's just a bit of a laugh. People sharing memes, videos of music that I like and stuff like that. It's kind of just like an extension of the chat here. So if you want to go on the Discord, just send me a message.
You can share whatever like links and stuff you want too. So if you've got something going on and you want to share with this group and spread the love, then you can do that on there. So that's also pretty cool.
Yeah, and like if you want to share videos, you don't get demonetized or anything like that. And it's
what we can do that.
I don't think I approve of that message. Yeah, just S. Ferguson, send me a message on. Anybody send me a message on Twitter if you want to an invite to the Discord. If you haven't got Twitter, then. I don't know. I think you can find my email on the YouTube channel somewhere or something like that. So yeah, like I say, it's nothing serious. It doesn't cost any money. It's just a bit of a laugh and stuff. And yeah, it's people just like hanging out that aren't on the stream. So yeah, I try and call in at least once a day to say hi and stuff. And I think once it builds up a bit more, I will use it a bit more, to get ideas for videos and ask people questions and stuff. So yeah, Remy, I'll send you a link to
that as far as like asking the chat in X or wherever, about like, hey, what would you like to talk about, or what topics would you like to bring up, for next week's session. I think we should be doing that a little bit better, and like I took a poll a couple of times, and that was neat. But like mostly it was for fun, just to see what what would happen, and to bring some laughter into the chat. But I think that if done properly, that's a good way too, because then they get to vote on and we can see like, hey, that here's the higher percentage and works down to that. So we'll start.
You fuckers love a good vote over there, don't you? That's all you can think about is voting.
No, well, I mean yes, but no. I mean, voting over here is fake. It doesn't do anything. If it mattered, it'd be illegal. But what I'm talking about is like just a poll where like it's not. Hey, just because it was 90% doesn't mean that's what we're going to talk about the most. But it'd be nice to see like where our chat stands. Like, hey, we want to talk about this.
It is always nice when because I mean, like tonight, I mean we've chatted about a couple of things that we're going to chat about probably anyway. But when people bring stuff up in the chat and they're like, oh yeah, and, it's great to be able to engage. It just makes the stream flow so much better. And
Andy, did you see this?
What?
The Karate Kid versus Marty McFly on guitar. Who's best? That is the best question of the night right there.
Oh, right. Who have we got so far? We've only got Judy, who's come in with Marty. Have you seen that? Have you seen that video where that dude actually plays what Ralph Macchio plays in Crossroads, and it's not good. But Marty McFly, I don't know, because I don't think Marty McFly played quite as well. Because I've seen a video of him getting guitar lessons on the set and it was some rock star who just showed up and he's like smoking a cigarette and he's like, you want to do this? And
you can't play like me unless you got AIDS, kid.
Where's my hookers? Marty did fix the future, but Ralph Macchio defeated Satan himself. So I mean,
yeah, I Karate Kid, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's all pretend. But if we're gonna go off of pretend, then I'll say Karate Kid.
I think on a skill level, I mean, when Ralph played Paganini's 14th Caprice and Marty McFly played Johnny B. Good, so
right,
I don't
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Go kill your mama. Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. I think we're gonna have to give that one to Ralph. Oh, Barry's retracted a message. That must have been. Marty did look cool though. Marty did look. That's really shit about what happened to Michael J. Fox. He was a good dude.
Well, as far as we know, I don't know the guy. Did you grow up next door?
I've never met him, but I've never seen anything bad in the press. Like you don't hear about Michael J. Fox like kicking puppies.
The bad people own the press, my brother.
But all saying that,
coming out with P. Diddy all of a sudden, there's like, oh, that's rare. Like, no, it's all.
I'm sorry, but anybody that didn't think that Diddy was a fucking retrobate is.
Yeah, but the problem is like more and more and more. Like the links are just spreading around. So it's like, oh, and then he's like, all these are like, oh, he's a good guy. He was in the favorite movie. Like, he's like, I'm fleeing the country and moving to a country in Europe that doesn't allow extradition. Why would you do that? So it's just, I don't know, man. And don't get me wrong, I'm not judging these people and saying that I'm a good human being and they're terrible. All I'm saying is, careful who you like.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not condoning what Diddy did. Right, I'm not condoning what Diddy did do. Because I mean, it's not.
Actually, don't. We'll probably get canceled in like 5 minutes.
No, listen. I'm not going to go into it.